If you want to know if racism is still out there, it's alive and well in Rochester, New York, in the home of Dr. I hate to say this, Dr. Nicosia. Jesus Christ. He's a Greek. Which I'm not surprised, you know? Greeks can be some of the most fucking racist people on the planet. You know, not trying to stereotype, but, you know, I do have extensive experience amongst my people. And you do get 2, 3, 4 races here and there.
Mm-hmm.
The only credit I do give Greeks is that they're pretty racist across the board. So that's a good thing. They're so racist against everyone, it's almost progressive in how equal it is.
Racism for equality.
You know, it's like, wow, we hate everybody. So, let's make sure. Nicosia, it's a Greek name. I already knew that. Jesse's just trying to make sure. Because we don't know for sure, right? We're assuming. The name is Nicosia. It's a Greek name. He's a Greek. I have to say it. When you know I have to pronounce it Nicosia, it's a Greek. So he married some fucking Eastern European bimbo bitch. Mary Zidrulskisik. That's probably a former Yugoslavia or Serbian or something.
Some country that likes tracksuits, yeah.
Yes, a country with a tracksuits problem. They got a tracksuit problem in that country.
Yeah.
No doubt when she was born, her dad was in a fucking comfy Adidas tracksuit with Lacoste sneakers.
Looked like he was training for the Olympics. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lacoste sneakers are really like the immigrant sneaker. Whenever I'm in Manhattan or like I'm down by the World Trade area, you know, where the old Century 21 is, you see somebody in Lacoste sneakers, you're like, that guy's from Poland. It's really just like a Italian. They always got weird sneakers.
Yeah.
They're always wearing like some Adidas motorcycle edition weird running sneaker that's not available in the States that just looks a little stupid. Or like a Lacoste sneaker is a real, you know, you're like, you're from Romania, aren't you, guy? What's Andrew Tate up to? Has he enslaved your sister yet? Yanni, that's not cool. Yanni, the King G. Okay, it's not cool that a comedian's calling for another comedian to be silent. I'm not. I don't care what happens with fucking Andrew Tate. I was just doing it for the algorithm. Like I said, I'm scum. You think I give a shit what Andrew Tate's saying? He's not influencing fucking me. I don't care. And if you want to listen to a really thorough episode on Andrew Tate, that we did it on the Patreon. Why do we do it in the Patreon? Because we're scum and we want you to pay for it. Mm-hmm. All right? But we're offering you something, right? We're giving you content. You're supporting us. So go to patreon.com/Yanni LongDays and listen to the Jordan Peterson for Retards episode. Where we give a fair and balanced account of Andrew Tate. It's right there in the title. That is a fair and balanced account of Andrew Tate. All right, so back to this story. So what's going on here, Jared?
So basically, this was back in July. There was a fireman, a black fireman, who was ordered to attend this party done by these two individuals. They're both prominent in Rochester. The wife is a realtor, and the husband is a respected dentist, basically.
So she's a realtor for white people trying to find out if there's any black people in the neighborhood.
Yes, that's correct.
That's the full job description.
Yes, she's COINTELPRO realtor. Yes.
Yeah, that's not on her business card, but that is in her wink.
Yes,
that's in her wink.
When she says there's no basketball courts in this neighborhood, you know what that means.
You know what that means.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this black fireman goes to the party, and this party is decked out with a lot of racist shit. He goes in there, he sees there's Juneteenth flags everywhere.
Okay, so this was around Juneteenth.
This was July 7th, right after.
This was July 7th this year in Rochester. Mm-hmm. This wife throws a party.
Yeah.
Okay, and the party that she claimed was just to own the libs.
Yes.
And that's what she said in retrospect after this happened.
It was a party to make fun of the left and the liberals, correct.
Right, that's what she claimed.
Yes.
Right.
When you went to this party, though, they
went all out. Let's just say she went all out with her own the lib paraphernalia.
Yes, she went all out. It looked like a party for Flavor Flav. Right. She went all out. She had buckets of Kentucky Fried Chicken out for eating. There was bottles of Hennessy out. There were Juneteenth flags. There were cutouts of Donald Trump. It was a Lollapalooza, if you will.
Yeah. It was a Lollapalooza if the KKK organized Lollapalooza.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the black fireman, he felt very uncomfortable.
Well, I think they brought him on purpose.
They probably brought him on purpose, and that was the first time that a fireman didn't want to run into a building.
Right. It's the first time that a fireman wanted to start a fire and run out.
Yes, the only thing that was burning in this building were crosses.
Yeah, there was only crosses there.
Yeah.
And so someone in his fire, I think his captain or someone.
His captain forced him to go with another individual as well.
So the captain was like, "Hey man, you got to come with me to this party." So the captain, I think, got fired.
The captain was on suspended leave, and before they can fire him, he retired.
Okay, so he got to retire. Yeah. They always put him on administrative leave. I love the administrative leave. So the captain got fired. So he brought this guy from his ladder, right?
His ladder, yeah.
His ladder to the party. Probably to be a dick, to harass, to be a dick, right? So yeah, they have what Jared explained was they not only did they had like buckets of chicken all over the lawn, they had Hennessy bottles, they had Juneteenth flags, and I'm sure that's just I'm sure if he would have stayed longer, there probably was a few other things that he didn't see.
Yeah.
He probably didn't stay long enough to see the noose room. I mean, that's how extreme it was in there. You know, like, and this is very funny because when this came out, she claimed it was an Own the Libs party. They were just there to own the libs.
Yeah,
they wanted to make fun of libs.
But if you saw it, it looked like a Negro Easter egg hunt.
Which is a very funny, at this point, you just got to go, you got to put your hands up and go, you got me. Mm-hmm. Take me to racism prison, whatever. You got me, right? But they got a lawyer. They tried to fight it off, right? But here's the deal. So they say, hey, we've never been racist. Of course, we've never been racist.
Because the firemen tried to sue. They sued the city of Rochester, and they sued the fire department for like $3 million in damages.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then, so she goes, because she's like on a board of hospitals or something, and he's a dentist. He's like an esteemed dentist. And they're on like the hospital boards and shit. They're like a pretty
influential,
affluent or whatever.
Yeah.
He's a dentist. She's a big time real estate, whatever.
It's not looking good for him because he does seem racist. His job is to literally make things white.
Right. Right. That's his job. His job is literally make things white.
Yeah.
So he marries this cunt. It's just sometimes I gotta say the sweetest Kiwis are on the worst people. It's just how put
that on the shirt, dog.
There's a little bit of that going on here.
Yeah.
Because she's more the player here, right? Mm-hmm. Like he even was quoted as going like, I thought it was just a gathering with her stupid friends. He's like, I don't know. He's like, she's not racist. I got to say that. But I don't know. She was just inviting her stupid friends over. So she's the one. She's the main one who organized this party, who brought her friends over, whatever. And so what they found about her was that she also was a Twitter aficionado. She loved Twitter.
Yeah.
She loved getting on. Can we show this, or how does this work?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's news though. It would be nice if people could see this. So it says she was on Twitter under a pseudonym, much like Mark Twain, much like the great Samuel Clemens,
yes,
who was writing such progressive things during his time that he didn't want the backlash, and he went under a pen name to protect himself from having a book where a black person and a white person kind of commiserate, right?
Yes.
So he went under a pen name, and amongst other things. A lot of authors back then had pen names, so they could kind of hide because they wanted to escape the ire of people. Much like those literary giants. Mrs. Zandrkic, Nicosia, went under the pen name Ho, 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 homeboy ROC, Smiling Sam from Alabama.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
With a computerized digital animation of a very racist Sambo trope.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what trope is, you probably follow Ho Ho Homeboy on Twitter. And I love, she was replying to Gino Finelli. So Gino Finelli, whoever she was responding to, Gino Finelli's a lot more out in the open with his racism.
Yeah.
Right? Gino Finelli's like, hey, look, I don't like the blacks. I don't want them in my neighborhood. Yeah. What do you want from me? My name's Gino Finelli. And she's like, I can't quite do that because I'm an esteemed real estate person. So I'm going to go under Smiling Sam from Alabama. And so her tweet here is, what them council folks been eating, Lordy? Look at them. They's big as barns. Even that hand lady. This is as bad as it gets. This couldn't be worse.
Can't get worse than that.
Couldn't this? You're a black guy. Tell me, can it get worse than that?
No, it can't get worse.
Well, it does, because scroll down. Just scroll down a little bit. There we have her replying to someone named Colonel Nathaniel Sanders, which is obviously a play on KFC. And it's a bunch of African tribes people dancing around buckets of KFC chicken. Now, you're probably saying, Jared, as a black guy, can it get worse than that?
No, it can't.
Scroll down. I mean, they just progressively get worse and worse. Get digested while protesting. It's the meal you need in your life. Need spelled K-N-E-E-D, like a play on kneel down because of Black Lives Matter. Instead of Black Lives Matter, it's Black Lives Platter. And of course, there's a KFC. It's a reappropriated KFC ad. And here's the worst part. A free house brick with every meal. So good, you won't be able to breathe.
Jesus Christ. The wordplay on this is immaculate. Who wrote this? A racist Mark Norman?
I mean, dog, you're probably saying, hey, so good you won't be able to breathe is one of the worst things I've seen on a racist Twitter meme. And you're going, it can't get worse than that. I say to that, scroll down. Now we're getting real bad. Okay. Now she tweets or she retweets from Colonel Nathaniel Sanders, who's just her little buddy, who's just her buddy. She's just got, like Dr. Nicosia said, she's just a bored housewife who gets on Twitter.
Yeah, they eat strawberries together.
Yeah. Now, I believe that he may not have known about this. I believe, now, of course, he knew that she's a racist cunt. He knew that. And he's probably similar, right? But I don't believe he, knew what his wife was doing online. You know what I mean? Like, she's on Twitter. I don't know. Maybe. But I think she was, getting her real feelings out, and she found some other fucking cunts to commiserate with.
Maybe that's his Twitter handle.
Maybe he's Colonel Sanders. They haven't got to that part of the story yet. But also replying to this, it's worth noting, are screen names Suicide 1K, Janice MD 2020, which means probably a doctor, and 7 others. So there's a few people out there who share this interest. And this tweet is the most racist drawing you could make. And just the word, give me a dollar. Give me a dollar. With some flies around his head like he smells. And you're probably saying, hey. You're probably going, hey. If you could see this picture, which I don't think you can right now, but you can Google this for yourself. You're probably going, hey, it can't get worse than this. And to that I say, scroll down. Oh, man, what can AC ain't in doing muffins know? What are you saying? I mean, with some dude in a hat, and then you're going, oh, it can't get worse. And I just say, scroll down. That's it. Okay. So I thought there was more. And I guarantee you there was. I guarantee you there was one. So she put up, she either tweeted herself or retweeted the most racist memes imaginable, really.
And she admitted all this during the press conference.
She did admit it.
Denying the racist party, she goes, I'm not racist, we're not racist. I do have a Twitter account where I tweet from an alias. So she kind of snitched on herself.
Now this is the opposite of a conversation we've had in the past, where remember we were joking about some comedian who was married to a black woman and had black kids, and I said we had a funny moment in the podcast where I was like, actually, I think you were like, that doesn't mean anything, and I was like, actually, I think it might. I think it might mean something.
Yeah.
If the person who you choose to reproduce with and you choose to marry is black and your kid is black, so the people who you love the most are black and you choose that, I don't know if there's a bigger sign that you're not racist. But then you made a good point and we had a good laugh, but it was more of a joke. Now, this is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Right? So when someone says, I'm not racist, you're going, I think you are. I think you are, ma'am. I think you are. And she's going, what do you mean? I'm not racist. And you're going, is this you? Are you Alabama slamming man or whatever it was called? And she goes, yeah, that's me. And you're going, that's kind of the definition of being
yeah.
I think that's it. I mean, I'm no fucking mathematician, but I think you're 2. I think your Twitter account is 2, and 4 equals racist.
This would be the quickest episode of Law and Order you've ever seen.
Yeah, I think you are. I think you are. You can't just identify. Now you see she wants to fucking be like the people who she makes fun of, right? Because she sits around with her fucking dentist husband and they talk about, oh, look at these libs. They want to identify as anything. It's like, you're trying to identify as that. Why don't you own it up? Here's the thing. These people are all fucking, they're all proud and strong and fucking when nobody's watching, right? But now, here's your opportunity. Tell the fucking world what your view is. Own it. Why don't you own it? She should go, yeah, I'm a racist, and this is my worldview. This is what I think about black people, and this is what I think about liberals who like black people. This is what I think. Because we know that, because we see what you're fucking tweeting. So it'd be the opposite of someone married. Now, if she married a black guy and had a black kid, and that was her Twitter account, then you win the argument.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'd be like, you know what? You got me. I guess there is a way to continue to be racist. That would be very odd if one of those other screenshots was Gary Owens. Is that his name? Did I get it right? Yeah. That would be hilarious if they just found out it was him. He's like, what, man? Fuck. Shit. That's not me. Fucking crazy. That's not me. That would be weird. But it's usually not, right? It's usually people like this. So they raised money for cystic fibrosis. They hosted fundraisers for candidates. They're pretty plugged in. That's why this is such a big story in Rochester. I mean, otherwise, who would give a shit about Rochester?
No.
And this is the type of quality people who are running Rochester, New York. Which is, you're almost kind of like, look, if there are going to be people out there, put them in Rochester. Let them have fun. Have fun with it. It's Rochester. So they ran events for Mayor Malik, who's a Democrat. That's interesting.
Who's also black, I believe.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they said they're not racist. Mayor Malik came over the house many times, and they also say they have a Jamaican lady who helps out around the house, who lives in the guest house on their premises.
Now, that's not going to help you in court.
No, it's not.
That's not going to help you that she lives off premises in the house. She's like, yeah, no, we have a Jamaican lady who lives down there in a little house. We're in the big house. What's the problem? What are you talking about? I'm not racist. Yeah, Mammy's right down there.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
She's cooking the Yardbird right now.
Mammy, come here. Mammy, tell him. Tell him that we're good to you, right? We let you inside 2 days a week, right? Oh, we go hard on this pod, huh? So all those organizations quickly cut ties with the Nicosias. I'm not even gonna give it the Greek pronunciation. I'm gonna try to make it more American. With the Nicosios. Nicosia lamented that 2 employees at his dental practice had quit, his patients had fled, and his business's Google rating had fallen. You don't say. You got a few bad reviews? You got a few. I love how he's surprised. He's like, what the fuck, guys? What do you mean? Why am I getting these bad reviews? Why are my employees quitting? I don't get it. We were just having an anti-cancel culture party. Which is what they called it, right? They said, this is cancel culture run amok. They just all dumped them because of how powerful this is their lawyer. They just all dumped them because of how powerful this cancel culture is. It's the only, this is what he did. He sat with his clients. He goes, look, guys, they got the tweets. All right. We got photos of what was at the party. We got witnesses about what's at the party. Unfortunately, I got a bunch of your text messages to his wife, and that's not looking good. Because her text messages weren't all about like sales at DeChico's. She's going, look, there's a great sales at Wegmans. It wasn't all that. Mm-hmm. Wegmans, upstate New York.
Of course, Hannaford's too.
Yeah. There was some off-color tweets in there. I mean, off-color texts. Because they got all that. I'll be honest with you guys. All right, as your lawyer, this is Hogan speaking as a lawyer. As your lawyer, we only got one card left. The cancel culture one. Yeah. That's all we got. Okay? You guys are anti-PC warriors. You're anti-PC warriors championing free speech. Okay? What you're going to say, okay, look, have you guys ever heard of Andrew Tate? Okay. You're playing a comedy character. And you were doing a play much like Tina and Tona's wedding, where your house was the stage. It was a very non-traditional, kind of like Donkey Show or Tony and Tina's wedding, where people come and they don't know they're in the play. And you're playing these roles to show how bad people can be. Okay? That's what we're going with.
And they're like, are you sure that's the only option? He goes, yeah, we got one more. One of you guys got to go trans.
If we can do that, can someone start hormone therapy right now? It's the only option. That would be the only option. That would really be the only other option. But you kind of got them backed in a corner at this point.
Yeah.
You got to go the anti-PC. Now, if the lawyer was as good as me, I'm the kid. I have lawyers in my family. I would have went that far. I would have said, you're doing a Tony and Tina's type of performance. You guys are play enthusiasts, and you wrote this play. And you brought him there to show him how bad the world can be. But you're playing roles. And this is artistic freedom. And your house was your stage. Okay? And all those things that you paid for with all these receipts that we can track were props. Okay? They were props. We're going to have to continue when we go for our taxes. We're going to say, you're going to have to start a play business. And now you guys are going to have to continue to put on racist plays for the rest of your life. Yeah, the cancel culture. I love how you called it this cancel culture. Just threw that in there. They're doing the same thing as people who are throwing into Me Too. Where you're just like, hey, this dude smiled at me at work. He's a predator. You're like, yeah. Going, oh, you want to throw that in Me Too as well? It's like, yeah, we're throwing this in cancel culture. Just inviting a black guy over and just completely harassing him with the party. Why can't we do that? Why? What's wrong? He's going, boy, Rochester sure has changed. So let's hear some of the quotes from Nicosia. How long are we at?
Hour 42.
Holy macaroni. All right, we got to end on something good. Let's just hear his quote. What does any of them say? Let's get a quote. We'll get out of here. What I see, I think it gives people opportunities to be someone they're not. Nicosia also maintained that he had no knowledge of his wife's Twitter persona and insisted her tweets were not representative of her. Bullshit. Not once did she let anything slip. Not once.
No, yeah.
Not one time while Obama was giving a speech during his 8 years did she let something slip.
She definitely stubbed her toe on a dresser and called it a nigga.
He characterized social media as a cesspool. Yeah, it's a cesspool, and your wife is the fucking caretaker of that cesspool.
Yeah.